Torino, with 17 new players this season, is certainly an unknown quantity. And the feeling is that coach Rampanti, promoted from the club's very successful and admired youth team, will favour a more adventurous approach than his predecessor Mondonico. The signing of Abedi Pele, the Ghanaian from the French league, looks a shrewd capture. So too the acquisition of defenders Maltagliati, who's not in the side today, and Curricula. And Torino are hoping that striker Rizzatelli, then from Roma, will at last realise his full potential. Rizzatelli playing up front with Andrea Salenzi, the only survivor from Torino's regular first team last season. What then of Inter? Well, having suffered their worst ever season in the top flight, there's a lot of pressure on them to reverse the trend this time. New coach Ottavio Bianchi has chosen Darko Panchev up front, with Dennis Bergkamp injured, but among the substitutes today, he's been making his way back from that injury that he's had. And Bianchi, the coach, hoping too that his recruitment of Beer and Festa will improve the team's defensive stability. Paliuca's arrival means Inter have once again the country's top-rated goalkeeper to call on. And other new faces include Andrea Seno, who'll fill the anchor role in midfield after his move to the San Siro from Foggia. No Wim Jonk, Inter's other Dutchman. He's away on international duty. Torino then kicking off, attacking the goal to our right, defending the one to the left for the moment. And it will be very interesting to see how their new players slot in together, how they gel in this opening fixture. There's Pele, his first touch. A very sharp player, and he'll be operating just behind the front two of Rizzatelli, the man on the ball now, and Salenzi, who's beaten to the tackle by Bergomi. Once again, the inter-captain this season, Bergomi. Panchev to Bianchi. Persevering for Inter down that right side. Bergomi with Seno. In goes Sosa. Chance here. The defensive sloppiness has been punished by Ruben Sosa.
He is the man, Peter, and that was absolutely fantastic football. His speed of thought is incredible. Just knocked it past Pastine, and with the old swinger, whacked it in the back of the net. A great goal. Been the first-class performance from Sosa this afternoon. Here it is, the ball, long ball just pumped through. Falcone, who's had a very good game. And there's Sosa thinking ahead of everybody else on the volley, back of the net, 1-0. And Inter do look very comfortable, it has to be said.
The goal coming 3 minutes from half-time, scored by the Uruguayan international Ruben Sosa. There was certainly some hesitancy at the back. As Ray was saying, though, he's otherwise had a good first half, the young defender. But they lost their concentration there. Full time maybe for one last assault. Scienza. Curricula has kept going. Rizzatelli was forward as well. There's Bergomi. Keeping an eye on Pele. Up by Seno, right into the path of Bergkamp. This could finish it now. Bergkamp strikes. Bergkamp scores. 2-0 to Inter. A goal there from a master finisher.
Quite right too, Peter. What a master finisher. He's not been on the field a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes. That really was a clinical finish. Not often you see Bergomi play a beautiful little pass like that. It was a lovely little chip pass forward from Bergomi. Onto Seno. Seno, a lovely timed pass. And there is a master finisher, Bergkamp. That's the problem, always the problem. When you're pushing for that equaliser, they're a young side, they push forward. Lots of gaps appear at the back. And when you've got players of the class of Bergkamp, there you see, picked his spot in at the near post.
Maki's long ball. Too long, though, for Senegalia. It'll be a difficult season, I think, for Torino. So many changes in their side. It's going to take a while for them to gel together. And on the evidence of this display today, well, they certainly need Salenzi up front. Let's hope his injury isn't too serious.
Yeah, you're quite right, Peter. It is going to take a long time for these guys to gel together. But the thing they do have in their favour is they're prepared to have a go. And if you're prepared to have a go, once you do get that gelling of the side, you've got half a chance.
Inter have started the season with a victory. Dennis Bergkamp with the second goal towards the end. He only got 8 in Serie A last season in more than 30 games. But he started a new season with a goal to add to the one from Ruben Sosa 3 minutes from the end of the first half.
So an opening day victory for Inter. Now we move from Turin to Brescia, where Torino's city rivals Juventus faced a tricky opening day fixture. Commentary from Gary Bloom.
It's going to be a free kick to Juventus for that foul on Vialli. Juventus have taken it quickly. Torricelli now. Another chance to cross the ball into Vialli. Del Piero ricocheted off a couple of blue-shirted players. Lupu. Pia Vanelli has Scanardi to his right here. Juventus are claiming offside. And now Brescia are claiming a penalty. And Scanardi is going to be yellow carded for trying to win his side a penalty kick here with this deliberate dive. Well, there appeared to be an elbow used there by Tacchinardi on number 9, Neri. And Conte will get the ball out of play so that Neri can receive some attention for this facial wound. And there is blood around the jaw of Neri. Here's where the incident began, and that really was dangerous use of the elbow by Tacchinardi, the Juventus substitute. Roberto Baggio. Vialli. Conte's arriving. Conte scored. Well, he began the free kick movement himself. And when Vialli was able to hook the ball over his own head, Conte was unmarked at the back post. But Brescia really should have cleared this ball before Vialli had that chance. 1-0 to Juventus. 7 is Scanardi. He made his debut 4 years ago against Juventus while playing for Bologna. Ambrosetti. Scanardi now, it's 1-1. Brescia are level with 10 minutes remaining. And Scanardi scores Brescia's first Serie A goal of the new campaign. Lovely three-man move.
All square then at the Mario Rigamonti Stadium. Elsewhere, Fiorentina, last season's Serie B champions, were at home to Cagliari. Champions Milan faced Genoa. Napoli and Parma had high hopes of starting with victories. New look Roma will have been optimistic against Foggia. And Sampdoria must have been confident against the new boys Padova. But we start with Lazio. Minus the injured Paul Gascoigne until after Christmas, they began their campaign away to the newly promoted Bari.
Bari paraded their new Colombian striker Miguel Guerrero against Lazio. He was denied a goal by Marchigiani. Guerrero was determined to make an early mark in Serie A, but once again found Italy's second-choice goalkeeper in impressive form. But Lazio struck on 21 minutes. Rambaldi provided Signori with the pass, and he scored his 50th league goal in a Lazio jersey. Shortly before half-time, Lazio were reduced to 10 men for Vardy's cynical foul on Gerson warranted severe punishment. In the second half, Lazio should have doubled their lead through Casiraghi. The referee contentiously decided to disallow the goal for offside. At the other end, Lazio could thank Gerson's inaccurate shooting for keeping their lead. With a quarter of an hour remaining, Bari went looking for a penalty. All Tovaglieri found was a red card from the referee. He was booked for diving. It was the striker's second cautionable offence, and he was sent off. Newly promoted Fiorentina were back in Serie A after a season's absence. Cagliari were their first opponents in Florence. The Sardinians conceded the first goal of the 94-95 season, albeit through an own goal by Napoli. In an even game, Cagliari certainly did enough to earn at least a point. Here, Allegri's drive was palmed to safety by Toldo. Robiati was the architect of Fiorentina's next attack. He started the move, but once Baiano returned the pass, he found too many Cagliari defenders blocking his path to goal. With a quarter of an hour left, Cagliari drew level. This has to go down as one of the highest tackles of the week, as Toldo landed a kick in the chest of Deli Valdez, and the Panamanian landed his team a penalty. Herrera converted the spot kick to make it 1-1. 5 minutes later, Flacchi replaced Baiano, and the youngster made an immediate impact. The 19-year-old set up Batistuta to score the winning goal. A new season and renewed optimism amongst Napoli's faithful following. Napoli started strongly against Reggiana, Roberto Pollicano in particular. His run was checked by Cherubini. Amazingly, the referee awarded a goal kick. Pollicano certainly appeared to be fouled. The only doubt as to whether the offence took place inside or outside the penalty area. On Carbone's corner, Freddy Rincon almost marked his Serie A debut with a goal. Reggiana's saviour was Accardi. Rincon, who incidentally is on loan from Parma, failed from his second attempt moments later. In the second half, again, Napoli came close to scoring. This time Bourdin with a shot. Antonioli made the save. Then in the last minutes of normal time, Benito Carbone scored arguably the best goal in Serie A at the weekend. Maradona and Zola previously wore the number 10 jersey at Napoli. Carbone hardly looks out of place. Parma in white began the season as one of the title favourites. They even have a new crowd favourite, Marco Branca, who managed to keep Aspria out of the team, but he couldn't manage a goal. 20 minutes in, and another Parma new boy scored on the first day of the new school term. Portuguese international Fernando Couto scored on his Serie A debut. Branca was soon busy again, keeping the Cremonese goalkeeper busy. Di Chiara was next to try his luck. Closely followed by Branca. Gianfranco Zola had a wretched World Cup, kept on the bench for most of the tournament before being sent off against Nigeria. It was good to see him getting back to doing what he does best. Zola was runner-up to Beppe Signori as Italy's leading goal scorer last season. This won't be the last time in the coming 9 months he scores goals like this. Roma have spent the summer spending. Jonas Tern, Francesco Moriero, Enrico Annoni, Statuto, they've all arrived. But the biggest signing is Uruguayan Daniel Fonseca from Napoli, and he had this early opportunity. A splendid three-man move brought Roma their opening goal of the game, and for all Roma's purchases, it was a 17-year-old, homegrown product, Totti, who scored the opening goal half an hour in. Foggia wearing kit disturbingly like that of Germany almost equalised through Igor Kolivanov. But 20 minutes from the end, Kolivanov did score. Fonseca had waited patiently for his chance to come, and he blew it. This miss came 3 minutes from full time. Sampdoria in blue were forced to play their opening league fixture at Bologna. Their ground had been closed due to crowd disturbances last season. 12 minutes in, Roberto Mancini got Sampdoria's season off to an ideal start. Melli, who's been signed to replace Ruud Gullit, almost made it too. Why wasn't Lombardo at the World Cup? How did he miss this chance? Answers on a postcard, please. Lombardo was involved in the build-up to goal number 2, scored by Evani, who did play for his country in the USA. Evani only scored once in the league last season, so this was quite an opening day for him. David Platt has made a habit of scoring in his first Serie A appearance of the new season. This was the 4th time in as many seasons he's managed the feat. A lot of the credit for Platt's goal, though, has to go to Melli. Sampdoria were Serie A's top goal scorers last season. This year looks another roller coaster ride for their supporters. Sampdoria's 4th goal came from new boy Sinisa Mihajlovic, who did the same against Milan in the Italian Super Cup a week ago. 9 of this pad of a team were making their Serie A debuts, including USA international Alexi Lalas, who gave away the penalty for goal number 5. Melli marked his Serie A debut for Sampdoria with a goal. This was a live Sunday night game. Genoa had Kazumura making his debut. Milan had Stroppa and Hullet back in the red and black stripes. Milan almost took the lead direct from a corner. Where's Marco van Basten when you need him? Baresi, hardly the prettiest player in Serie A, was involved in this accidental clash of heads with Kazumura, who had his nose broken. The Japanese striker saw plenty of a hospital in Milan, but little more of the match. Milan got the decisive breakthrough 8 minutes into the second half. Savicevic and Hullet carved open Genoa's defence, and Marco Simoni was on hand to squeeze the ball past Tacconi. Simoni missed a huge chunk of last season through injury, but the summer break has served him well. Milan's defence wobbled occasionally, and Ruotolo may have pinched a late equaliser, but then again plenty of teams could have claimed that last season. Milan won by a single goal. They'll know, though, that better's expected from the champions. So, confirmation of those Week 1 results. No real surprises, though among the title contenders, Juventus' new coach, Marcello Lippi, has perhaps the most to think about.